creatures, it's Em and welcome back to my channel. It is spooky season and in the spirit of all things Halloween, I wanted to share with you my top 10 list of the world's most disturbing animals. If you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button down below, become part of the creature crew, and also hit that notification bell down in the corner there so you don't miss a single upload. If you're enjoying a snack whilst watching this video, you might want to save it for later. That is, if you're still hungry after this video. Get ready for the world's top 10 most disturbing animals. Number 10, the hagfish.
Hagfish are widely believed to be one of the most unsettling creatures on our planet. Despite looking like eels, they're not eels, they are fish. More specifically, they are in the class Agnatha, which is the class for fish without jaws. The hagfish is not only jawless, but it is also boneless. They have a skull made of cartilage, but no vertebrae. Despite their lack of jaws, hagfish have 2 rows of tooth-like structures which act like teeth, allowing them to tear into their favorite food, either live prey or the carcasses of deceased creatures. Whilst they devour their meals, they can twist their bodies to generate torque and increase the force of their bite.
But what makes the hagfish truly disturbing is its defense mechanism.
When the hagfish feels threatened or worries that its food is about to be stolen by other creatures, it can produce a monumental amount of slime. This slippery fish has special glands which line its body, through which it can secrete stringy proteins. When these proteins make contact with seawater, they expand at an alarming rate into a globular, thick slime. This slime can choke predators trying to eat the hagfish. To protect itself from its own slime, the hagfish can create a motion almost like a sneeze to free its own nostrils. It can also tie its body into a knot to keep the slime from clinging to its own face.
Number 9, the tardigrade.
The tardigrade, also known as water bears and moss piglets, are a phylum of water-dwelling microanimal. They can often be found anywhere wet or damp, such as in ponds, puddles, and even the moss in between the cracks of the sidewalk. Their segmented bodies have 8 legs, and their faces have a scrunched-up look. There are over 1,000 species of tardigrade, ranging in size from 0.05 of a millimeter to almost 1 millimeter, making them almost completely invisible to the naked eye.
But don't let their tiny size and cute chubby bodies fool you. Tardigrades are almost completely indestructible.
Not only can they survive bitterly cold temperatures of -328 degrees Fahrenheit, but they can also survive scorching temperatures of over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition, tardigrades can survive exposure to radiation, boiling hot liquids, up to 6 times the pressure of the deepest part of the ocean, and they can even survive the vacuum of space with no protection. One study conducted in 2008 found that some species of tardigrade are so freakishly robust that they could survive 10 days at low Earth orbit whilst being exposed simultaneously to radiation and the vacuum of space. It is believed that the tiny, silent tardigrade will be inhabiting the Earth long after we humans are gone.
Moving along to number 8, the blue-ringed octopus.
The blue-ring octopus is possibly the most iconic of octopi. They can be found from the Sea of Japan all the way down to the southernmost tip of Australia. Despite its name, the blue-ring octopus's blue rings aren't always visible. When the blue-ring octopus is resting, it has a grey or beige colour. The pattern is meant to deter predators. These tiny octopi are extremely venomous.
In fact, they are so venomous that one blue-ringed octopus has enough venom in it to kill 26 humans in just a few minutes.
The beak of a blue-ringed octopus is so small that you may not realize that you've been bitten at all until paralysis starts to set in and your lungs begin to stop working. There is no antidote for the blue-ringed octopus bite, but you should still seek medical attention immediately if you are bitten. Thankfully, the blue-ringed octopus rarely bites, and fatalities are extremely rare.
Number 7, The Suriname toad.
The Suriname toad, also known as the peepa peepa toad, is a small aquatic species of toad found throughout much of South America. It can be found in subtropical moist rainforests, freshwater marshes, and swamps. What makes this creature seriously disturbing is not any kind of super strength or toxin, but the way they carry their babies. Unlike frogs, which lay frog spawn, or other toads which lay long strings of eggs like gelatinous pearl necklaces, the female peepa peepa toad will release her eggs, which then implant into her own back. Over the course of several days, the eggs sink into their mother's skin, settling into small, fleshy pockets where they will continue to develop into embryos.
During this stage, the mother's back resembles a sort of irregular honeycomb, which can be particularly upsetting and unsettling to those with trypophobia, also known as the fear of clusters of holes.
Once the tadpoles transform into fully developed little peepa peepa toads, they eventually leave the safety of their mother's fleshy back and they go on to live mostly solitary lives. The mother sheds the skin on her back, ready for her next babies.
Number 6. The cassowary. Although the laughing kookaburra takes the prize for Australia's most famous bird, the cassowary takes the prize for the most infamous.
These birds, which at their full height can stand at almost 6 feet tall and weigh over 100 pounds, looks like a cross between a turkey, an emu, and a velociraptor. Although extremely beautiful, the cassowary can be extremely dangerous, not hesitating to charge and kick with their incredibly strong feet, which are armed with a huge clawed middle toe. Although a flightless bird, the cassowary can sprint at over 30 miles per hour, leap over 5 feet in the air, and can even swim with ease despite being the world's second heaviest bird after the ostrich. These formidable birds have earned themselves the affectionate name murder chickens, as when they're threatened, they can deliver a series of downward kicks which are strong enough to slice open a human with ease and even shatter bones. Although fatalities caused by cassowary attacks are very rare, they do still happen. In 2019, a private exotic animal keeper in Florida, USA, was killed by the cassowary he hand-raised when he fell over in its enclosure.
These usually shy, endangered birds do not make good pets, and even the most seasoned and experienced of zookeepers exercise extreme caution around them. Number 5. The shrike.
The shrike bird is a small, adorable-looking songbird which can be found in the southern parts of North America as well as in the northern regions of Canada. Despite their beautiful song and tiny size, they are a carnivore with a truly unsettling method for eating their food. It will predate on small rodents, insects, lizards, and even other small birds. The shrike is so cunning that it can mimic the songs of other songbirds, luring them close enough to launch a surprise attack. The shrike is an expert killer, holding mice behind the head to paralyze them before shaking them violently to break the neck, or sometimes just pecking their prey to death. But even this isn't the most terrifying of the shrike's predatory manners.
Now, having killed its prey, this tiny bird, which lacks the strong talons of other predatory birds, needs a way to actually eat its prize.
The shrike is also known as the butcher bird because it will mount its catch on sharp thorns and even barbed wire in order to make eating far easier.
Oh, and did I mention that the butcher bird is also known as the serial killer of the bird world due to its tendency to kill for fun. Number 4. Cats. Cats, I hear you say? Yes, cats.
It's no secret that domestic cats, which are allowed to roam outdoors, are responsible for predating on wildlife, but their claws and teeth aren't the only thing decimating wildlife.
Cats have earned a well-deserved spot at number 4 on this list of the world's most disturbing animals due to one of their lesser-known abilities.
Cats are a common host to a parasite known as toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is a common parasite found in cat feces which can cause serious complications, especially for pregnant women. This is why it is often advised that pregnant women do not empty cat litter trays. However, what makes toxoplasmosis most disturbing is how this single-celled parasite can alter the minds of other animals. Studies have proven that mice and rats which have been exposed to toxoplasmosis through the feces of a cat lose their innate fear of the smell of cat urine, and their altered minds actively seek out cat urine, meaning they run directly towards the cat and to their doom. In essence, toxoplasmosis can turn rodents into cat-seeking missiles. There is even some evidence to suggest that the human brain can also be affected by toxoplasmosis from cats, as those diagnosed with schizophrenia are 3 times more likely to have toxoplasma antibodies in their blood. However, this science is not conclusive. What is certain is that rodents do lose their fear of the smell of cats when they are infected with toxoplasmosis from cat feces.
But how can we be certain that animals are catching toxoplasmosis from cat feces and not the feces of other animals? Because felines are the only animal where the full life cycle of this parasite can be fulfilled. Number 3. The mango fly.
The mango fly, also known as the blowfly, is endemic to the subtropics of Africa. It lays its eggs on the ground where they eventually hatch into larvae, known as the mango worm or the kea worm. They crawl along the dirt until they encounter a suitable mammalian host. Once an unwilling host has been found, the larvae burrow into the skin and begin to develop in the subcutaneous tissue, causing the formation of tumors. Dogs are the most commonly affected animal by the mango worm. Extracting mango worms can be a highly gruesome sight, though the process is often straightforward and in most cases doesn't require surgery. Just like removing blackheads, mango worms can be pushed out from their fleshy homes, leaving no lasting damage to the animals they infect.
So those were mango worms, and before you ask, yes, humans can get mango worms. Number 2, the horsehair worm.
I have another parasitic wormy delight for you. Meet the horsehair worm. They belong to the group Nematomorpha. They are similar to nematodes, but much longer, attaining lengths of up to 4 inches. There are over 350 known species of horsehair worm which can be found in water and wet areas such as puddles, livestock watering troughs, and cisterns. After the adult horsehair worms mate, the female lays her eggs in the water, which eventually hatch into tiny horsehair larvae. The larvae are often eaten by the larvae of other invertebrates like mayflies and mosquitoes. Once ingested, the larvae lay in wait inside the body of their aerial host until the host eventually dies and the carcass is eaten by another invertebrate, such as a cricket. Once inside the cricket, the horsehair larva bores into the cricket's body cavity and begins to absorb nutrients from the cricket directly through its skin. But this isn't the end of this terrifying body hijacking.
The worm hiding inside the cricket actually begins to control what the cricket can do,
such as preventing it from chirping, which can waste energy and could attract predators. When the worm is fully grown, having absorbed nutrients from its cricket host, it forces the cricket towards a body of water. Once the worm can sense the water from within the cricket, it forces the host to catapult itself into the water, where the worm then erupts free from its living host. The cricket will often get eaten by a fish or drown, as crickets are not natural swimmers, but it has served its purpose. The horsehair worm is free to swim off in its adult form to find a mate and begin this disturbing cycle all over again.
And finally, we've reached number 1 on our list of the world's top 10 most disturbing creatures. Number 1, the anglerfish.
The anglerfish is probably one of the most iconic sea creatures. Their ghoulish faces and grotesque bodies have fascinated and repulsed humans for as long as we've known about them. There are more than 200 species of anglerfish, some of which live in shallow tropical waters and others which live a mile down in the murky depths of the freezing cold Atlantic and Antarctic oceans. They are best known for a feature which only the females of the species possess, a bioluminescent bulb on top of their heads which they use as a lure for unsuspecting sea creatures, attracting prey right into their jaws.
But their creepy eating habits are not what earn the anglerfish the #1 spot on today's coveted list. No, what earns them their spot today are their mating habits.
As you might expect, the chances of a male anglerfish finding a female in such a vast ocean can be quite a challenge. So, when a male does encounter a female, he will make the ultimate sacrifice. The male anglerfish, who is much smaller than the female, will use his teeth to latch onto the female's belly. He then begins to fuse to the female, who absorbs the male into her own body. Eventually, his fins, which he will never need again, atrophy and fall off. Even the male's eyes will cease to function as they decay away. The male essentially becomes a faceless, eyeless parasite living on the female and sharing her bloodstream. When she is ready to produce offspring, she can self-fertilize and produce the next generation of anglerfish. Some female anglerfish have been found with up to 6 absorbed males living on their bodies.
I think it's romantic. And that concludes our list of the world's top 10 most disturbing animals. Which animal did you find the most disturbing on today's list? Or do you have a suggestion for another really creepy animal? Leave your comment in the comment section below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Do remember to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I also have merchandise and a coloring book as well as a regular book which I wrote earlier this year available as well. You can find links to all of these different things which help to support my channel down in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in another video soon. Bye!